What's up, everybody? It's Joe with J Blake Photo. Today I wanted to do a video again about Lumafusion. Lumafusion seems to be a super popular topic with the folks that are subscribed to my channel. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take some footage that I recorded back in March of this year when I took my photo expedition out to the national parks in southeast Utah. I've got some drone footage that I took with my Mavic Pro, and I want to throw it into Lumafusion to talk a little bit about the idea of a speed ramp, which is really just speeding up and slowing down your videos. Now, you've seen in my previous videos where I've talked about some of the features that I want to see in Lumafusion, that it does not have a native speed ramp feature in it. And I think that's something that they really need to add in the future. But in the meantime, there's kind of a hacky way to get around it. So I want to show you how I would edit this kind of footage if I wanted to create dramatic speed ramping with drone footage in Lumafusion using cuts. So we're going to take a look at that now. I have loaded up some footage using my handy dandy SD card reader. If you don't have one of these and you're using the iPad Pro or the iPad, oh man, I don't know what you're doing. You got to go get one of these. You can get them from apple.com. You can get them from the Apple stores, the retail stores. I did a video about this being my favorite accessory for the iPad. I'll link it above. You could go ahead and take a look at that. But I've already inputted this footage into my iPad and I've got it imported into Lumafusion, so I just want to kind of jump in there and kind of take a look at what we've got going on. Okay, so we're hopped into Lumafusion here. You can see I've got this footage. This is from, again, the Mavic Pro from Monument Valley this year. This is March of this year. I took a photo expedition up through Utah. I hit Arches, I hit Monument Valley, I hit Dead Horse Point, I went to Canyonlands. I went to a bunch of different places, so it was a ton of fun. But this is some of the footage that I really wanted to get and I was able to capture, but I want to walk through some of it with you and just do a couple of quick edits. As we kind of scrub through this footage, you can really kind of see that while it is very pretty, it's kind of slow. I was doing my best to maximize battery in this case. I was parked on the road, and these geologic formations were about probably 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles from where I was, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough battery to get to them and to get back. So you can kind of see me in this footage. I'm kind of hunting and pecking, kind of going back and forth, trying to figure out what the best thing is to do. So what I want to try and do here is I want to scrub through here and maybe find just some of the best footage that I can do some kind of dramatic, oh here we go, some dramatic speed modifications with. So you can kind of see here, and I'll spoil it here, we just come right up over this ridge and it's just such an amazing and beautiful spot. Now, if you're ever flying your drone and then you look at your footage later and you go, why did I make that move? Why did I turn? I was doing that perfect. Look at this. I'm riding through here, I come up over this ridge, and then for some dumb reason, I just decide to hang a left. I mean, don't get me wrong, this other formation over here to the left is very beautiful, and it's really dramatic looking, and the sun was going down, and it was amazing, but man, if I just held that trajectory for like another 15, 20 seconds, I probably would have got an even better shot. But let's start with that, right? So we're gonna go back here to just before we hit the ridge, probably right about there, okay? And I'm gonna set myself an in point, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just scrub all the way to right before I, I jerk the camera to the left here. So I'm gonna go right to about there, and I'm gonna set my out point. That's 26 seconds of footage. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop that onto our timeline. Okay, so now we have that on our timeline. We can scrub through it this way. I'm gonna kind of pinch and zoom to zoom out just a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so this is kind of slow. If you just kind of play it through, it's kind of slow. It's not super fast, but we do have a really kind of cool kind of crescendo moment, which I think is right about here when you get a really good idea of where the valley floor is on the other side. So I'm gonna make a cut right about there. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that spot and I'm gonna make a cut, okay, right about there. And I'm gonna use the scissor tool down here on the right. So now I've got two different clips. And remember, we're gonna be simulating a speed ramp. And if you don't know what a speed ramp is, again, check out my earlier video about speed ramping in Final Cut Pro and in Premiere Pro. But in this case, really what we wanna do is we wanna go from one speed to another. We wanna go very fast, and then we just wanna slow down, and we wanna do it for dramatic effect. So we're gonna speed up, and then we're gonna slow down, but in between, we want to kind of vary our speed in between, okay? We wanna give us a kind of a threshold to slide through, okay? So we're gonna find the point that we wanna do that, and right now, if we take this first clip and we go into our edit panel, okay? And we go into our retime here, we're gonna increase the speed to, let's just go all the way to 4 times or 400%, and we'll just kind of play that back. And that looks really cool, okay? So now, if we play those two clips side by side, you can see that we're going really fast, and then boom, it slows down, okay? So I actually wanna make that even faster because the difference isn't fast enough for me. So I'm gonna up that all the way up to 600%. We'll go back, and we'll do it again, and 600%, and then boom, it gets slow. And then it goes down to 0, okay? Or 100% rather, no increase in speed. So I'm going to, I'm just pulling this apart here just to make this a little bit wider. And then you can see boom, and then slow, okay? But I don't want it to be that quick. So I'm going to just kind of scroll back to here and make a cut, okay? And then I'm gonna take this particular clip and I'm gonna switch it to be 4 times, just like that. And then we're gonna go back, and then I'm gonna cut it again, and I'm gonna make this clip 2 times, okay? And now, if we scroll through that, okay, you can see that our speed up, or our slow down rather, now has steps. So we're going from 6 times or 600% to 400% to 200% to 100%. And we're doing it rather quickly. And that doesn't look too bad. Once we kind of get to the point where maybe we're 3 or 4 seconds, maybe even, here, let's do this. Let's cut into this side by about 3 seconds. And let's speed this up by about, let's do 1.5 times. Okay, so we're gonna click on this clip that we've just cut, and we're gonna go to edit, and we're gonna increase this to 1.5 times, okay? And we'll go back, and then we'll scroll through. Excellent, okay. So now, once we get to about 4, maybe 5 seconds. Now 5 seconds is a long time, so maybe let's keep it to 4. And again, you can kind of play around it. It's going to depend completely on the media and the shot that you're actually playing with here. But we're going to pause this here at 4 seconds. We're going to cut that clip, and then I'm going to take this new clip and I'm going to set it to 6 times. And we'll scroll through. There's the slow, and then it's back to fast. Okay, but of course we don't want it to go that fast, that quickly. We don't want it to speed up that quickly. So we're going to scroll back here. Okay. And we'll just kind of cut here, and then we'll do another cut here. Okay, and we'll do a quick edit, and we'll set this down to 2 times, and then we'll set this one to 4 times, because we're speed ramping back up. Okay, and then we'll play through. All right, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to drop some music in here. So I'm gonna find some music that I have. Okay, so I've got some music here that has a bit of a kind of a beat drop. So I'm gonna just kind of set this to here and then set this to here. Just make some in and out points. And I'm gonna drop this down onto my timeline here. Okay. All right, and now let's kind of see how that sounds. Okay, so my crescendos is just a little bit off. So our crescendo on the actual footage is when it speeds up. Okay, so that's right about here. So I want to just kind of bring this to about there, and then I'm going to bring it back just to kind of line it up, and then hit play. Okay. And let me just bring this down because it doesn't need to be that big. All right. All right, now let's just really quickly run some color correction over this because it's going to need a decent amount of work. This footage was shot really dark, and so let's see here. We're going to go. Okay, so I've applied the color settings that I want to for each clip, which is the same in this case because it's really just one clip, and I'm going to go ahead and play that back. So that was kind of a quick and dirty example of using cuts inside of Lumafusion to create the effect of a speed ramp like you would in Final Cut Pro or in Premiere Pro. If you don't have access to a full desktop machine that would give you that software, or if you just prefer using the iPad Pro, you can get very similar results. It takes a little bit more time. It's not as simple, it's not as smooth, and sometimes you can create clips with just a little bit of jitter. You kind of saw that in the video that I created, but it definitely is available to you. Now it's going to depend on the clip that you're making, it's going to depend on the footage that you're working with, but you can do things like set those to audio cues and all that kind of thing. So there's really a lot of options there. I hope this helps for those of you out there running with Lumafusion as your only primary driver for video editing on the iPad, or if you're only editing on the iPad. And again, thank you very much for watching this video and videos like it. I will have videos coming out very soon about the iPhone XS Max low light quality. I'm going to do some low light footage for photos and video on that device, as well as the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I went ahead and picked this up as a Christmas gift for myself. So I want to try this thing out in comparison to the Ronin, which this is on right now, in terms of the gimbal quality, and just kind of see how we do. To see if this actually has gimbal-like quality. So we'll check that out. Again, thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you are not already. Go ahead and hit like if you like videos like this. Leave me a comment down below to let me know the kinds of things that you are using your gear for. Check me out on all the places, links down below, and I'll see you in the next video.